Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello to you and welcome back to the channel where I'm afraid to say that today is actually quite a sad day because it's time to say farewell to the BMW M5. It's been my daily driver here in Germany for the last couple of months with thanks to BMW M, and it feels like just yesterday that we were at the BMW Welt, their factory in Munich, to collect the car before embarking on a whole string of different adventures. We've been to events, I've taken the car back to Munich to visit some of BMW and BMW M's facilities. We've upgraded it at BMW Individual, also with some BMW M performance parts. But I've done maybe 13 or 14,000 kilometers now with the M5. Safe to say I've got to know it quite well and become fairly attached to this car, so I'm going to be very sad to see it go. Today I've got about a 5-hour drive to take it back to Munich to return it to base in Garching. It's just north of Munich where BMW keep their cars, but what that means is we've got a long autobahn stretch on which to enjoy it. So today I need to take it to get it cleaned up. The car is absolutely filthy, flies all over the front, dirt and grime you can see a bit of on the Donington grey paintwork. I'm leaving the GT3 here naturally, but what a journey it's been so far with the BMW M5. Today though, unfortunately, it's going to be coming to an end. Before collection day, BMW M sent me the full spec sheet for the car that was to become the future daily Shmeemobile. Now, being a car from their fleet, that meant that it was pre-configured and already built, so I didn't get to choose the optional specification, and as such, there are certainly a few things that are different to how I would have chosen them to be. And the first and most significant of those is the choice for the paint colour. Now, this is BMW's Donington Grey, but those of you that know me and know the channel will know that more traditionally, I'm a fan of bright colours for my cars. Case in point right behind, but also the other cars you see in my garage and on the channel. So I was quite anxious for how Donington Grey would look in person. But when the shutters rose, I could immediately see the deep, almost liquid-like metallic, but how it's very smart, yet also quite stealthy. And that's a big part of the experience with the M5, that it doesn't scream and shout, it doesn't stand out. And that's what makes it so rewarding to actually drive and experience. So when I saw it, I immediately felt that's going to work, that's okay. And the biggest thing that I've learnt since is that if you want a car painted in any colour to best disguise road grime and dirt, this is the best choice. The car from where we're standing right now actually looks quite clean, but believe me, it hasn't been washed for over 5,000 kilometres. And you can see that, if we come in a little bit closer, just how many bug splats there are on the front. On the headlights, on the bumper, also on the front number plate, a few big ones. Because it's an autobahn cruiser, it goes 300 kilometers an hour with effortless ease, as maybe we'll discover later on today on the way to Munich. The wheels are painted in gloss black, again hiding away some of the dirt. They've got the ceramic calipers, the braking power is incredible. This car now has the M performance parts that we fitted when we visited the BMW M studio. So the side skirt, we've got the lip spoiler, a few other components. But back here, you can really see quite how grimy this car actually is. So we need to take it to get it cleaned up. But this has been through just about everything. From collection day, we went straight to the N24 race. It's been to the Le Mans race. It's been back to Munich for a number of visits and different experiences, including going to BMW Individual to fit the individual door sills and also the laser etched dashboard. But it's going to be a sad one to say goodbye to this. We've had many, many enjoyable miles out on the road together. So let's just fire it up and get ready to get this journey started as we head on back towards its home. Here we go then, de-restricted autobahns, we're on the way. Now I don't think there are many cars that could better be described as a wolf in sheep's clothing, because to the casual observer, an M5 could just about get away with being a 520D with the M Sport body kit. It doesn't stand out, scream and shout what it's capable of. Yet I know from driving this car on various different track events what it can actually do. It's got 600 horsepower from the V8. It effortlessly blasts down the autobahn. Now I don't know what we'll be able to drive to today, it might be a busy day, but I've driven this car up to, I think the fastest I've seen was 309 kilometers per hour. That is seriously quick when you think this is a fairly big and heavy luxury saloon car, yet it does so in a way that's really undramatic. You drive that quickly and you get out at the other end from a very long drive feeling relaxed and comfortable and happy. You don't feel like you've had a stressful journey, which is what so many very fast cars do to you. It might be a hard one to explain just by me talking like this, but when you're driving, especially here in Germany on the autobahns, really quickly for an extended period, you get to the end of the journey and you can feel quite exhausted from it, because 250 kilometers an hour, you're looking a long way ahead. Your brain is having to think. It's mentally exhausting. It's not necessarily physically exhausting like driving a race car on a racetrack would be. But this, for example, right now, it picks up at any speed. It just goes along. The one other thing, other than the paint colour, that I might have ordered differently is that this car, actually there are a few, but one thing in particular is that this car doesn't have the 360-degree surround cameras, which when you're parking or manoeuvring a car of this scale really help, believe me, especially in my garage back in London. It's quite narrow between the curbs, so I don't like not having that. Anyway, it looks like it's opened up in front of me. Let's put it into M1 mode, drop some gears here, down we go, down to 4, foot down, and it just picks up. I couldn't shout out the numbers, but we're at 200 already. Got a completely clear lane ahead, which is lovely. Up to 240, 250, and onto the brakes as somebody moves over in front of us, without indicating that's something you obviously have to watch out for when you're going these kind of speeds, but up to 250 with such ease. We've got the 4-wheel drive system, so even in bad weather it's safe and steady and sure-footed. And again, it opens up, away we go, up to about 7,000 RPM. Shift the gear, the 8-speed automatic. It's just so fantastically efficient in the way it goes about this. I mean, we're going to go up to about 280 now. Yeah, there we go, 280s and onto the brakes, so I don't want to fly past people here, and we're coming up towards roadworks anyway. But 280 kilometers an hour, without much stress to it at all. The only thing is when you do then get to a speed limited section, you have to drop a lot of speed very quickly, but then pop it back into automatic, everything relaxed and chill, and the car does its thing again. So it is really a car with two different characters. You can just waft along like this, going the speed limit, no stress, no pressure, quiet. It's very quiet. No sound being piped into the cabin like this. Very little road noise through the glazing of the windows. Or you could dial it up and become a bit of a drift hooligan, as we've also seen that this car is completely capable of when you put it into the 2-wheel drive mode. For driving the way I use it for long distances, the lighting is comfortable at night. You have the connected entertainment system, which gives you audio anywhere you go with music. You don't have to worry about iPods. You've always got the latest sound, latest music, which I do particularly like, just popping it on shuffle. That's powered through Napster, a subscription service you can have in the 5 Series. But like this, what more is there really to say other than it's just a very nice place to be. So let us continue towards the first stop of the day. The journey so far has been incredibly busy. The roads are super congested, loads of roadworks. You get lots of these elephant races where one truck is overtaking another truck and you get a big backlog behind them. But I'm hoping as I get further southeast in Germany, towards Bavaria, towards Munich, that the roads will open up and I'll be able to stretch the legs a little bit more. In one way I kind of cheated though, because when I stopped to fill up, I did give the windshield a little bit of a clean, because there were just too many splattered bugs and it was kind of getting annoying. Plus, you want to be safe if you do get an open road in front of you, right, and have the right visibility. But just driving the car gently, again, reaffirms that feeling of ease with which you go about it. I mean, I should have taken about 2.5 hours to get to where we are now. In reality, it's taken about 4, but I don't really feel like I've been driving 4 hours in a car, especially when I'm used to, supercars, cars that are much more on it, noisier, firmer, more aggressive. But that's where it's the wolf in sheep's clothing thing again. This car has the ability to be a madhouse, or it has the ability to drive it quite gently, and then it just pulls away with such ease when you do get a slightly open stretch. Unfortunately, the guy in front should duck over a lane, but he hasn't done so, so I'm just going to sit behind him. Lane discipline here is normally absolutely spot on, but I think when it gets this busy, it all changes a little bit and the speeds come down from where they normally are. But one thing that is quite fun is when we do get towards Munich, it's normally sitting in flowing traffic at 250 kilometers per hour, because everybody's doing exactly the same. That's what these German cars are typically limited to at the top end. In BMW's instance, if you have the M driver's package, that's what raises it up. In this instance, over 300. A few times I've had it at 308, 309, but that's felt like where this car is limited to at the top end. We'll see if we get an opportunity to stretch. Let's just hope we don't have traffic jams like that one coming in the other direction. First stop though is to get this cleaned. My first stop of the day is to visit Christ Wash Systems, where we're going to put the M5 through their new Genius machine to clean it up properly because this car really needs it. So this is the Christ factory where they build their car washes. We're going to head into their showroom in a moment. But all of this grime on the back, that has got to go. I can't give a car back to BMW M looking like this at the moment. Look at this down on the wheel. They have a Wheel Master add-on that's hopefully going to clean away that mess that we've got there. We've got tons of bugs. These are clearly going to be quite difficult. We'll see how it does. Even a hand wash is going to struggle to get all of those off neatly. So we will take the car around into the showroom and give it a go. That does sound very good. So the guys are just going to take it round. I am definitely going to miss this car. It's been such a good journey so far. They told me they had a surprise in store, and I've just walked into the Shmee 150 Christ Wash Systems car wash, where we're joined either side by an Aston Martin Rapide, by a 911 Turbo, and the M5 is coming here into the middle with literally the Shmee 150 car wash, where we're going to give it a proper clean in a second. That's really quite fun to have the setup done exactly like this, and even in the background with the Shmee 150 Christ Wash screens display as well. So time to work out how this system comes together and then get the car cleaned. It's go time, and the thing about the Genius Vitesse, this specific machine, the Gold Edition, is that it does everything at once. The foam, the high pressure washing, the brushes, it's all going on. One thing about the machine that's being used here is actually the same machines that BMW use at the Welt when they're preparing cars. It's their own very special type of material for the brushes to not scratch or damage the paint. What happens here are the brushes pull away for the wheel master to tuck in and clean the wheels inside there, and then it gets ready to do the rest before returning the other way. I can confirm that we have a less bug-ridden front end of the M5, which is exactly what we were going for as the brushes come back through and over. The car now is looking substantially better. It's also had some wax on it, which is being put on using special brushes. For the second run back over the car, it covers it in a special wax that then gets polished in, which will help it dry as well afterwards. Wax on and polished, which means now it is time for the dryer to come down to get the car dried out. And now it tells you forwards, depart from the Shmee 150 and Christ car wash with your freshly cleaned car. All complete, and it's done a very impressive job of getting rid of the bugs that were all over the bonnet. They can be a complete nightmare, especially when you've hit them at 300 kilometers per hour, but the front end is cleaned up very, very well. We have to hear the noise. Not bad at all. The sound of the Rapide. That V12 is glorious. What a wonderful sound. Time to exit. Out we go then, into the daylight. Farewell for now to the Porsche and the noisy Aston, as we prepare to continue the journey towards Munich. With the car all set then, it's time to get back onto the Autobahn. So big thanks to Christ Wash Systems for having me and cleaning up the M5, but let's jump back in and get on the road. It's a beautiful day today, which makes up to some extent for quite how busy it is. The traffic has not backed off at all. In fact, it might even get busier as we actually do get towards Munich. But for a last drive, for a final farewell as we come back into the de-restricted section, what a nice day to be driving the car. I always think that it's nice to have that last memory in the sunshine, not when it's raining cats and dogs. Although this car has been through just about everything. Good weather, bad weather, it's been around the Nordschleife, it's been down the Autobahns quickly, it's been used as a daily, it's been to England, it's been based in Germany, it's been on road trips to Italy, to France, it's been to events like the N24 and the Le Mans 24, we've been back to BMW Individual, the M Studio, we've been to Maissach, to the Driving Academy. This thing's basically been used in about every single way that a car like this can be used. It is a proper super saloon. It is very cemented in that category. It claims 600 horsepower, but I bet you it's more when it's running on proper high quality fuel on a nice cool day. Not like today where it's still showing 35 degrees Celsius, but we've traveled with 4 or 5 people in the car, we've had luggage in the boot, we've literally done about everything the M5 was ever designed to do, and I've been able to appreciate what it's all about. A journey like this, I mean, right now I'm driving with powertrain in efficient, suspension in comfort and steering in comfort, and I'm just leisurely cruising down the Autobahn. I could use the adaptive cruise control, turn that on to a speed up to 200 or so, use the lane steering assist so it will direct the steering wheel and keep me in lane looking at the road in front of us. It's a feeling of relaxation when you drive it in the same car that can be a complete animal when you want it to be as well. It does this dual charactered approach so well. Then you press into your M driving mode to go into M dynamic, drop some gears, you get a little bit of sound out of the back of the car, and you can accelerate away with so much pace and power that it does honestly boggle the mind. I just wish right now I would have been able to do one final sprint just to show you what it was capable of, but the road at the moment just seems far too busy, frankly, unfortunately, for this part of the journey. So where we're heading is back towards BMW's press office in Garching, just north of Munich. It's the location I've filmed a number of videos before now, but I'm going to be really sad to say goodbye to this car, honestly. I think it's a car that fits so easily into the way I've been using it, into this sort of usage lifestyle, road trip, support car occasionally, a bit more discreet, a bit more subtle than some of the other cars in their bright colours, the way it can go places and not necessarily get spotted. Maybe that's partly involved by the fact that it's on the Munich plate, the BMW plate, as it comes directly from them. But I can't thank them enough for the opportunity to allow me to experience this, to experience everything that goes into BMW M, and to be able to share that with you guys as well in the videos. And I hope you've been able to enjoy that. I hope that's come across. I hope you've got a sense of what BMW is all about, BMW M especially. Looks like it might open up for me in a second. I'm clinging on to that last bit of hope that I'll be able to put my foot down and enjoy it a touch more. So, fifth gear, are we going to have an opening? No, the guy hasn't moved over to the empty right lane. Lane discipline, oh there we go. Right, off we go, shooting away like a rocket. Head-up display showing me the numbers rising, 220, just like that. Going past traffic, let's go a touch easier as we come towards some roadworks as well. But it's just such a great car for everything, and I've really and honestly appreciated that more as I've spent more time with it. This is it then, here we are, the end of the M5 adventure, up to 16,184 kilometers. It was on 3,111 when I picked it up only a couple of months ago. 13,000 kilometers, way more than 13,000 smiles. What a car. It's going to be missed. I'm sad that I have now completed my final drive in this epic machine. Sad times, hey? Who's unhappy to see the M5 go? Maybe in the future something comes to replace it, but for now, that's it. Over and out. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to BMW M as well, for the opportunity to drive this car and to really get to know it. And of course, a thanks to Chris for the stop earlier to have the car cleaned up before returning it here. I'm definitely sad to see this car go. I've really enjoyed it, no question about that. Some strange foibles like reading the traffic signs, and then the way it doesn't quite have as much presence as it might deserve. But then, on the flip side, that stealthy approach and the way it goes about things has just been magnificent. That is it for now though. Thank you very much as always for watching, guys, and I'll catch up with you again very soon. Cheers!